Welcome. Welcome to Willow on Elizabeth Berkeley. I'm really happy to be reading with you today. So let's kick it off. All right, so we're going to start with, we're going to be Kim Cran's heavy today. We are going to be reading from 3 separate Kim Cran steps. And, but before we start with Kim Cran's, actually, let's start with, here it is. Oh, no. Well, we won't be because I got it on deck. Oh, hold on, guys. I always forget I have to pause. Another aspect of what I'm doing, when we get back on. Okay. This is all about content creation. Let's do it. Start going. Start going. But I'm putting it out there. Don't worry about it. Being polished is not the most important thing in that. All right, so we're going to start with Animal Spirit, The Wild Unknown Animal Spirit by Kim Cran. A really amazing that. Let's go ahead and all right, so The Wild Unknown Animal Spirit by Kim Cran. Let's go KRANS. Let's see what animal energy is doing this with. So if you guys do have a question in your mind, maybe this will provide some clarity for that. You don't need to have a question in your mind for these readings. You can be blank. So fine. Something may come to you, something may not. It also just may be a way by listening to these messages that your mind simply reflects. You don't have to find an answer. Clarity does not always mean. All right. So for our animal choice today, we have the elephant, which is a very popular animal across the world. And this one has the element of fire factor. So one of my guides is the actual element of fire. So I think that this is really interesting. It's cradling the fire in its trunk. And we also see up here, could be a flower. Perfectly round with flower. Let's go ahead and go to the book and see what's going on. So the book is broken up by elements. So we've got earth, we've got air, we've got water, and fire. And then we also have spirit. So there's the 5 elements listed. The 5th element, the element of spirit. The pages aren't numbered. There's no numbers on the card, so it's not good. I know it's under the element of fire because at the top of the card there is the fire element circle, the triangle. But and again, this is part of the content creation. This is really good to see. Here it is, elephant. It's okay, however it flows out. I believe, however it flows out. I mean, but I'm creating these videos. The message is clear, and everything is a message. All right, elephant. We have unstoppable, auspicious, and wise. The elephant is arguably the most auspicious figure in the deck. Like the neck, the elephant represents immense wisdom, as well as good fortune. It is said that the great elephant is the destroyer of obstacles. So if this card appears when you feel stuck, rest assured the path should become clear. To add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction. Trust is gentle, noble feature that illuminates the way with the light of self-knowledge. Wow. Impressive. I would definitely follow an elephant in school because I figured it's just like. So when in balance, one pointed focus, generous and loving. When out of balance, and this is a reference to the enemy. When out of balance, misunderstands fate. And to bring into balance, stuff. So animals or elephants are herd animals. They trust with the herd that they're with. I don't know what a group of elephants is called. Pachyderm. lack of elephants. I don't know. Okay. But elephant energy is also this idea of we have incarcerated them because it's only a long time still to this day. We will find animals that are subjected to unpleasant lives because they're incarcerated by humans. The elephants are saying so find that on the side of them. But it's not to say that all is like that, and I'm not trying to say specifically any elephant or any organization, but there is the energy of the elephant. And that is part of it, because that is the reality of the life we have. All elephants are considered. All elephants are considered. All right. So one thing I'll say about that, the box that it comes in, this is this what do you call it? Seed or it's 17 top. So that was Kim Cran's Animal Spirit, deck and guidebook. And I do enjoy decks quite a bit. Oh, man, you know what? So we did on the energy of the elephant. I did grab the second. We didn't have that second deck, second animal. Actually, so I'm going to see why they might pick up. Oh, go ahead. I see it here.
I'll also point out that elephants also are very family oriented. And they're very compassionate and they're very spiritual. And so it shouldn't be put off by their appearance.
What about their appearance?
Well, they're very big and they're like, powerful like that, but they are family oriented. They take care of their young.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm not put off by their and they're also planters, not carnivores. Or omnivores. All right. I'm excited to say that I'm buying a microphone this weekend, so hopefully my output will be better. Come to see where it might be a little low, come to clear. So we're moving on to another Kim Cran set, Kim Cran's archetypes. All right, Kim Cran's archetypes. I love this one. I've been reading it for so long. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, it's also around. It definitely not have many roundups. I'm not even sure. Mother, please. Yes. We are also going to be reading from Kim Cran, Wild Unknown Alchemy, and that is, I don't know how many sides I have. It might be a hexagon. I'll have to see how many sides I have. But I'm thinking hexagon. No, it's hexagon or septagon. It's got 6 sides. I don't know if that's how you say that. All right. So we have the archetype that we're looking for in my series. Have the pilgrim. Oh, I like this one. And this is card XX, so card 20. X in Roman numerals is 10. I mean, yeah, a single X is 10. So if you have 10 XX, it's 10 plus 10, that's 10. All right, the pilgrim. The cards are definitely it would probably be really easy to go ahead and look it up online. It is going to be 10 and 10. There's a lot going on in it. So getting close up is probably good. Or 5 again. All right, so the pilgrim, or keep coming in, observation. The wanderer, the traveler, and the apprentice. For the pilgrim, an outward journey is always an inward journey. This archetypal wanderer seeks wisdom, experience, and meaning in the farthest reaches of the globe and the deepest regions of the spirit. Others will wonder when the pilgrim will settle down and claim a more conventional life. But the pilgrim knows that the heart belongs in motion. Where there's motion, there's freedom, expansion, and growth. Responsibilities, social conventions, and logistics lull us to sleep, and soon the pilgrim becomes veiled in the slumber of the day today. Yet when this archetype awakens, it rallies our sense of adventure and leads us out the door towards a new reality. With the pilgrim at your side, you will never lack courage, nor do you need every amenity. Travel light, travel soon. Your spirit needs it. Even in the stillness of meditation, the pilgrim feels the movement of the heart towards what it loves. We all have a deep longing to answer the call, to get unstuck. What are the obstacles between you and the door? So this card offers a when light, a when dark, and then a go deeper, which means to even further travel with the energy of this card. Here's a suggestion of how to do so. So when light, the pilgrim, the energy found here in this archetype is structured as learns, grows, adapts, and studies. You can travel while sitting at your desk, reading or watching a video on something, anything, and it's helping your mind, right? You're traveling with your intellect. So when dark, aloof, non-committal, flaky, and go deeper. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost and Mami by David Wright. All right, the Pilgrim. There are so many good cards in this deck. It is such a good deck. And archetypes are something that, like how the Pilgrim is the traveler. Oh my goodness, one got left in the. Wow, two got left in this one too. Oh, it's just one. Okay, we're totally reading this because that left in the but the archetypes, the Pilgrim energy that travels, right? This type of energy will yearn and will learn. Archetypes themselves travel with us as humans. We find these as characteristics in every human, ways that we can display who and what we are in the moment. And we have many archetypes within us. Structures that psychology has found exist, characteristics within all humans, our species is alike. So we are able to find that connection through archetypes. So the archetypes will be displayed differently depending on who you are, where you're growing up, what you're allowed to display. I mean, if you're not allowed to display your face, I certainly don't think you're allowed to display your archetype. If you are feeling angry and you want to become the fighter, the warrior, are you allowed to in your culture? Or are you told to sit silently and talk about that? So it's just something to consider, but we do all have archetypes. All right, so we're gonna go to the offering. This is the card that was left in the deck, and I'm like, okay, you definitely gotta read this card. Definitely gotta read this card. Did I just turn to it? I did. Okay, that's cool. Right to it. So, the offering, the gift, the present, the sacrifice. Unlike many of the other cards in the deck, the offering carries a clear as day message and a call to act. As you may have guessed, it is time for something to be given and given up for the sake of the bigger picture. If nothing comes to mind immediately, though it's likely it will, take time in meditation to consider what must be offered and who is to receive it. It's likely you'll feel attachment and hesitancy. You'll make excuses. But recognize the link between the word sacrifice and the word sacred. One leads to the other. When we offer up something to the greater good, we lighten our load and become more able to serve. Imagine for a moment if you were to offer your whole self unconditionally to the world. So now, start small. Once a week, Gandhi gave up speaking for a day, offering himself to divine silence. The offering can come in all shapes and sizes. If there is a gift you've been thinking of giving someone special, now is the time. And you can do this by offering yourself, like I'm going to drink X amount of water every day. That's an offer to yourself, a sacrifice of time, energy, patience, and loving to yourself. That was beautiful. That's a good part too. I'm glad I got left in the box so that we could read it. And Pilgrim and the Offering. I'm really going on. But we're also treating ourselves, allowing ourselves to flourish. 6 of Pentacles. If we don't flourish, no one else knows. Or those in our orbit will have one less resource, us, to flourish from. I think these might have all had sleeves on them, but I'm not checking. Or actually, I think I'm checking to put in the journal. See if we're fine. Okay. So now we have, Twin Fans, the Lotto, no, we're running through the deck today. And this is her alchemy deck. So you guys, it's very interesting. Her boxes are all similar. I'm going to, well, I shouldn't really not. But the alchemy and the archetypes definitely. We have this weird from metallic clay on the cover. I love that. And then we have magnetic. I will say, Twin Fans, her decks are amazing. The messages are like really good. Quality of packaging and the book is subpar. And that has nothing to do with her as an artist or a like giver. It's like if I go to have a deck created, how much money do I have? How much can I actually afford to have done? That's all this is. And it is a beautiful concept, but it is poorly executed. The books themselves are, it's just layers of glue that comes apart quickly. None of the books hold together. But again, the messages are sound. And she's a really, really good deliverer of messages. I love the book. So here we go. Here's one. Look at that. Wow. Okay. Wow. We're going to get something there. That one's upside down. Right. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sides. You map it. Tell me that is. So I'm shuffle. A little awkward on the shuffle. Fine. All right, we have Virgin's Milk. I had not looked at this other thing. I went on a story. All right. So we have Virgin's Milk, the blue words. All right. In alchemy. Okay, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. If this is Latin, there's a zero, I think it's a problem. But in alchemy, black virginus, LSC, VIRGINIS, black virginus, is a mystical substance, supposedly coming from the virgin's breast. The alchemist asks, that's the actual wording of this card, the virgin's breast, and women lactate after birth, or at least after pregnancy. You don't just suddenly touch sexual milk. What the hell does virginity have to do with being pregnant? Because you have artificial means of conception. You have alternate means of conception. Okay, let's just go back to the card. In alchemy, black virginess is a mystical substance. Oh, mystical substance. It doesn't exist. Okay, that's what's up. Supposedly coming from the virgin's breast. The alchemist asks, how can it be? How can milk come from one not carrying the fire? That is precisely the nuanced teaching of black virgins. When studied as an alchemical concept, it points to a lack of awareness or experience that the alchemist would rather not reveal. Yes, this milky substance is a symbol of purity and innocence, but its shadow side is naivety and even denial. When the virgin's milk appears, discernment and honesty must be applied to the work. Is something being glossed over, watched, or presented as perfect? There are likely complexities that need to be addressed, so the alchemist can gain from absurdity that humble what's next, without the screams of the jump on that before continuing with the party. All right, just one drop of black burgundy can be medicinal. We can help the alchemist act as if know your method. The black burgundy archetype can be seen in child prodigy and those expected to grow up too quickly. It is remedied by admitting exactly where you all at. Humor and humility help. Wow, that card is a deep dive if you want to learn right now. But you guys can hear the sounds outside. I apologize if you can't. Scratch day. So the refuse of the neighborhood goes into these bins and magically gets taken away and there's no environment there. So how does the card play here now? I'm not being serious. I understand the concept of pollution. Trash. Black. I'm waiting. So this card points to a lack of awareness or experience that the alchemist would rather not reveal. That is exactly trash pickup. A lack of awareness, glossing over the fact that all that trash is going to get dumped into a hole or get sold in New Jersey and end up somewhere but still on our planet, still harming us. But what is getting thrown away that is not actually trash but a resource? One man's trash is another person's treasure. So we could use these, upcycle, redevelop our ideas and thoughts around what has measurable value. Black virgins or virgin film. It might not be a concept that's fully accepted or realized. Virgin milk. I can't stand soda like that. But it's a reality, it's a perception. It's how we follow our own path. Do we have blinders on, or are we trying to look, not assuming we're wrong or dysfunctional or hiding, but just open to further interpretation and meaning? It doesn't mean we're wrong. I have met people, I realized, I know people that there are some people that want to be right. That's awesome. Go for it. There are some people I've come to realize that want others to be wrong. And I'm having like a hard time with these people in my life. They care very little to be right necessarily, but at all costs to ensure another feels wrong. In the concept, yeah, I hadn't realized these people were around until just recently. I was like, wait a minute, oh my God, are you seeing what's going on? Let's go call. All right, guys. That's mine. And let me see. So we have run through our Kim Krans. Oh, well, Kim Krans does, I don't have it right here. He does also have the Wild Unknown Tarot. That's the tarot deck that I learned on. I have a pretty friend who learned on it too, coincidentally. It's a good one. It's not necessarily a deck that anyone should start with. It was totally by chance and has great reviews, so I bought it. That's it. I didn't know anything about tarot at all. Literally. Now having moved forward, I would say get whatever deck. I wouldn't go serious on this. Whatever deck you like. If you are like seriously going to be color blue and you find a deck that's almost all blue, go for it. Yeah. You know, the pictures, great. Fabulous. You're studying French and this one happens to be in French, go for it. Get it. Stir it. It doesn't matter. If you like the deck, it's the deck for you. If you have the funds, I offer whatever deck you choose based on the aesthetics, the look of the deck. Because maybe you're into like war. They have war decks, their decks, it's fine, go for it. Or Oracle. But also pick up a copy of a pre-1990 Riley Smith, by the name of possible. This one is pre-1990. And I say that because you're gonna want, I suggest heavily getting a deck that's closer in imagery to what Pamela Fleming Smith, Riley Smith, Pamela Fleming Smith, illustrator, independent deck. In 1990, the deck was white off. Skin tones were white and characteristics on face changed because in the original, Pamela Fleming Smith was involved in the theater. Men and women, there was no line. one played women, one played men. It's however it works out. You need a young boy on stage, so they can, it's gonna work out better in the bear. And then would play the part of women. So when you see queens sitting, just painting these pictures, they were men as well as they were women. And it looked that way. It came across in some of the structural cases. So in 1990, they alleviated that. And they feminized the females and masculine thing. Probably had masculine papers in this one. You know, but you can see the differences if you look at these. Look, you go with what you want to go with. What you want is more important. There's the history of tarot is fabulous, wonderful, and it's fulfilling. It doesn't mean that you have to abide by any one story. There are no rules. Get whatever deck you want. Get the newest release of our demographics and it's on the calendar. Doesn't get it. Whatever. Script. Go for it. I like the one that's kind of I lost it. Go for it. Really great. Just reach out. Woo. All right, guys. Look at that. You almost done. I grabbed my mule deck, which is the Christmas deck. For the same holidays, and to grab this one. There's this deck, but I won't be doing that today. All right, let's do this. Let's end our reading today with. I'm going to pull an oracle card from Believing Your Own Magic Oracle by Amanda Weber. I'll pull a tarot card in conjunction with that oracle card from the Cozy Witch Tarot by Amanda Weber. I love them. And I also did buy, I wish I had that one where I told you about them. I'm really knocking me out. Okay, so we'll finish with these two. The study which is Irene is also about her spirit. The artistry is different, very different than the other two decks. It's enjoyable. Nice colors, there's a lot of purple, which is pretty cool. That was weird. In my mind, I heard help me around. Yeah, let's see what's hard again. We got morning, the world of wisdom. Are you waking up? Hope is all around. Hope starts inside. But hopefully you can find help on my hotline. Good part 40. 40, sign 4. American writing and so it's 4. 40 and P4 and the major arcana is the emperor to the emperor, which is manifestation. The queen, the empress, they think it. Then they give this to the emperor or the king, and the emperor or the king creates it in reality. We are all creating the same thing. We are all emperors and empresses. There is not a separation. So we have morning, the world awaits you. Outside that remains the ocean and the lake and the giant puddle with the big water and the ocean. They're waking up, they're ready, they're going to start, and they're smiling. All right, so let's go ahead and pull tarot and see how this can be clarified. So morning, the world meets you. Cozy Witch Tarot says, Ace of Cups. Oh, do you feel that in your heart? That's potential here. Ace of Cups, all of the aces, independence and see. Now, even though the aces are broken down into the suits, you have traditional speaking, which can change the name. You have cups, swords, pentacles. I always forget the judges, but I'm thinking. Cups, wands, cups, swords, pentacles, wands. The aces are about being able to see the potential. Now, imagine that you guys, I give you a little tap piece, but I don't tell you what you see on. When you start sprinkling around and watering and playing, having no idea what you're trying to do, that is still the ace. You might not even know what it is, but you're willing to move forward. That's the base, that's the potential. Morning, the world awaits you. It is full of potential. The idea with tarot is that it can also help you understand where we might work with that potential, because it's in the cups. We're looking at your emotional value. We're looking at what you are literally drinking today. What are you drinking? Is that arsenal tea? So just literally be careful about what you're drinking. Also look at this as emotional value, just to stay kind of basic. how you're feeling about it, and it does now everything. Doesn't spur to happiness or just a little sliver of depression. It's all in life. It's not necessarily that you're being forced to live in that feeling or the emotion. It's that your mind, body, and spirit, I believe, I apologize, let me say this in first person. I believe for myself that my mind, body, and spirit are coming together in communion. And in that, that communion burns feelings, or it may burn emotions, it's feeling really about the body. It's still me messaging myself in its value. So that sliver of anxiety, I'm gonna pause and go, what's going on? Why am I thinking? Give myself a chance to understand, and I don't have to understand. I just need to take the time to self-love, to pause and go, why did I do it? How is that affecting me? How, if I have the energy, let me understand how it's affecting those around. All right, I see you hand, go ahead. You're muted.
Well, I'm sort of make a comment. I think the ideal exists would be if during the day, for the most part, you experience the way the dog's experiencing. They're absolutely in the presence, worrying very little about things. I think that would be, you'd still have your issues, but it would be just a blur. They would just be a task. But I think if you could just be like the dog, live in the presence, be generous, and minimize your worries. Because I think sometimes we worry and worry so much, uh, with more attention to problems than do. They don't go away, but we give too much emotion to them.
Speaking for myself, I can't speak for others. I find that I will worry about potentials in the future. It's not reality, possibility. Why worry about that? Recently, I don't know what I was watching the fit on HBO Max, and it's a medical drama, and it's actually called competency porn. I didn't know that. It's so full of facts, you know. But anyway, one of the characters was talking to another, and they said, "I think you're addicted to the feeling. Like, why do you consistently act like this, or why do you consistently perceive the world like, because you're addicted to doing it?" That's what this character is saying to that character, and I thought, holy shit. I do find that there may be, addiction is such an off-putting word to me, but a strong reliance on uh, the way that I feel when I think about certain things and people. And it has become maybe not an addiction, it's something that I've come to rely on. And when I started thinking it that way, every time the voice in my head would start a conversation that was just anxiety ridden, I would be like, okay, so why do we sound anxiety? What is upsetting us, my system right now? And instead of just letting this imagination run wild, I actually started to really talk about it and understand. But I come to understand that the relationship I'm referencing is the one that I was in. It's not my mom in my head. It's me playing two parts, my mother and myself. And it's a conversation I'm carrying out. But do I really want to talk to myself in the meanwhile? No, the conversation is like a fun much better. Really good. And it was a really pretty, a pretty path to travel to get there too. And I gave myself a lot of credit, time, and this shit ain't easy. And your hand up. Your hand is still up. You're under lower, and you have something more. Okay.
Well, I think, remember, there's all these issues, but there's the enormous benefit of just living in the present, being with emotion. You don't have to make your life these issues that come up, take them as they come. But, you know, remember, while you're all worried up, the dog is having a good time living in the present.
Not worrying about the potential, right? What might happen. Like, obsessing over the future, because there's no way to know what the future is. It's just, it's like randomly picking possibilities and going to fixate on it. That's not living in this moment. Absolutely. No, I can see that. Not doing that is difficult. It's learning. And I do think of my dogs because they are totally in the moment. They don't care. They come out of whatever happened and they're not worrying about what the movie means. Totally. And that's well said. It's also the idea of giving myself the space to be that person, to learn how to live in the moment. If I ever do, and I don't think anything's 100%. So even in those moments that I travel through lightly, there will definitely be times that I feel like I'm stuck, and that's okay. It's learning. Everything is a success because I'm learning every situation that I go into. Yeah. Well, okay. So let's see if I can get the timing right, in the live stream. I seem to cut myself off continuously. But we are gonna